Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We welcome you, whatever time and wherever in the world you are listening. We are pleased you have found us. You are now listening to Inside the Bunghole, a podcast taking you on a journey through wine. Together, we will learn more about this wonderful elixir of life. So raise your glass to welcome your hosts and partners in wine, Pam and James. You are now Inside the Bunghole.
Well, it's season 5.
Season 5.
Inside the Bunghole with
Correct.
Pam, James, and sometimes Armand, but
He's not here.
today.
No, he's not. But who is this guy? Who's
We're interviewing his favorite winemaker.
That's right.
That's ridiculous.
Did you know that?
I did. I had no idea.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I've got a fan out there.
One fan.
It's not me though. No, it's the wines, and the wines are not even the winemaking. It's the places we grow it from.
And who's our guest?
Who's our guest today? Introduce yourself.
Oh, hi. I'm. This is weird. There's this big microphone hanging from the sky.
Yep.
I am Peter Heitz. I'm the winemaker at Turnbull Wine Cellars in the heart of the Napa Valley in Oakville. 14th generation grape grower winemaker guy. 10 generations in Alsace. 4 generations in the Napa Valley. And I've been the winemaker, grape grower at Turnbull Wine Cellars for 18 vintages.
18 vintages.
That's a while.
Does that equal 18 years, or is it?
Well, I came in 2007, so like 18 years would be like 2025. That's this year.
Yeah.
But like the 2025 vintage will actually be my 19th vintage.
Nice.
Because I came right before the 2007 vintage. So I think of it more as vintages.
Yeah.
What was it like being the new guy there when you were there? Was it like...
Well, I'm actually only the third winemaker in Turnbull's history since 1979. But I am now the longest tenured winemaker in Turnbull's history.
Well, there you go.
Which that was the only goal I had in life, and so I've achieved it. So I can just peace out now. It was funny. The Turnbull wines were okay. They weren't. I don't think they were remarkable. They were like kind of blue chippy, like tasted like wine.
No.
Came from Napa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the headhunter called me up and said, "Hey, do you want to go make the wines at Turnbull?" And I was like, "Get me a real job, but it's not that one." And they said, "Well, they have great vineyards." And
They have. Oh, hold on. Okay, what the hell is a gray vineyard?
great. Sorry,
Never mind.
Yeah.
Take
great.
that back.
Yeah, they have great, exceptional vineyards. It'd be like being a real estate agent and you get to go like to somebody else's open house and you can always like check out the tile job and be like, yeah, that guy that did that's awesome. Let's get him on our next remodel. And so I went to go see I said, I don't want to meet anybody. Just send me the gate codes. I want to, the vineyard maps. I'll just go. And I went to the first vineyard and I called them up and I was like, I'm in. Yeah.
So what was it that made you, what?
Well, it's great wines are not made, right? So like in the world of wine, 98% of wines on the planet Earth are a technical product made like Budweiser beer or your underarm deodorant. We want those things to work. They're fine. They're not interesting, but they're consistent. You buy it in Paris or you buy it in Mexico City, it's exactly the same, right? And I want it to be that way. So I'm not disparaging those things, but that is how most wine is. And then there's a small contingent of wine that is a craft product of place and time, right? And if you add up all the sub-appellations of California, if you take Humboldt and Mendocino and Lake County and Sonoma and Napa and Lodi and Santa Cruz Mountains and Livermore and and Monterey and Santa Barbara and even Little Temecula down here, and you take all that stuff together, that's 14% of the wine in California.
Wow.
Right? So it's a very small component. And Napa is only 2% of that. Right? So little capstone on top of the Great Pyramid. Right? And so, but within that, there's the bandwidth to do less work. Right? So I think of myself, heard a great analogy actually today. And being a winemaker, I always was saying like, well, it's like the Hippocratic, we should do no harm. And somebody was like, oh, you mean like you're a midwife to the grapes? Right, I'm not a C-section surgeon.
Right.
If everything's going good, I'm just there to like kind of smooth everything out, and it goes well, and we've got a healthy baby. Yeah. Right, and so my job with the winemaking is like that. We're not making. There's no ingredients in the Turnbull wines that aren't grapes, estate-grown grapes, French oak barrels, and a cork in a bottle. Little pinch of sulfur. right? And that is the cleanness that you can do when you have a great ingredient. So when I went and saw those vineyards, they have amazing soils. The farming was like more than proficient, and I was like, wow, they've really got something here. And
So
it was
were the people, I don't want to be ugly, but were the
Yep.
people before you fucking it up? Or what?
well, I thought like, okay, so you have the fruit that's coming in the door, like you're a kitchen, and you have the fish truck shows up, and if you have like awesome fish coming in the door, like you don't have to be magic chef in the cellar,
Right.
right? And but in the kitchen, you have to have some equipment, but you don't have to have like, you don't have to have the all the special gear that they might have at the French Laundry. I mean, you in your house can make a great meal in a toaster oven if you have good ingredients and you care,
Yeah.
right? So I was like, well, the cellar's pragmatic, and we haven't really upgraded that. It's like the cellar from 1979. We have these vineyards that are amazing places of dirt and time. And I really, honestly, my guys are going to hate this because they've still with me. And I have 6 guys that are over 25 years with Turnbull.
Wow.
I'm just the baby, right, at 18 vintages. And, but I came in and I thought, well, vineyards are good. The cellar's pragmatic. Must be the team. Must be the team. And it turns out, and my predecessor, nicest guy, but I don't know if the times are different or his intention was different or what that was, but always there, Captain Control. Like literally, I found a cot and a sleeping bag that he would sleep in during harvest to make sure that everything was okay. And so he never released the reins.
Delegated.
Okay, so you've got in a team, you have to have people believe in the grain. And
Go to Ted Lasso.
yeah, right? Yeah, so my job is to like, I came in and we have all the stuff. I think the team's probably shit. I'm going to like bring in the A team from my last job.
Yeah.
Going to bring those guys over. We're going to fire everybody. And then it turned out that they had just never had their own ability. Their own voice was never captured.
They could never flex the muscle.
Yeah, and they were amazing. Yeah, they're amazing guys already. So everybody gets a project. We all taste together. It's very collaborative. I'm not the maestro. Like, we're one team, one dream. And so when people have fun coming to work because they have a say in what their work is,
Yes.
they do better, right? It doesn't matter if you're a restaurant or an auto detail shop or like a coal mine. I'm pretty sure that if the people that are doing the work believe in the mission, they care, you do better. And so I'm not magic. The change from like Safeway second level to like 100-point wines is not because our fruits changed or our processes changed, any of that stuff. It's because the people, we love each other.
How is the crew with the product? They embrace it.
Oh, so proud.
They're behind it.
Yeah, so proud.
It's their baby too.
Yeah, it's the baby. Yeah,
That's
and when you take it to your mom's birthday and you're like, this is winning, and I'm proud to share this with my family, my special people.
Yeah.
That's when you know you won.
Yeah.
I'm imagining. Do you pinch yourself saying, "I get paid for doing this"?
It's it is a humbling job. And I when I came on board, I thought it was a winemaking job, and what it turns out is it's a job about like I'm a 14th generation grape grower. I mean, I've like been with the guys, and I'm the guy driving the tractor in the rain. I'm the guy out picking grapes. I'm willing to like unplug the toilets, whatever it takes to like do it. And I think when you lead with ability and you lead with, I can't do it as well as you can do, sir. But I'm
willing.
or miss, but I'm willing to like learn from you.
Yes.
I'm as a humble servant to your team. But I'm totally right with you. We're gonna get it done. You get a better result. So that I think has been the game changer for Turnbull. The wines reflect the human spirit, and I do think when we think about wines and we think about the difference between like a good wine or an exceptional wine, and when you taste it, I guess would be like the old adage, right? I think there was a Supreme Court justice that was asked about pornography, and he was like, well, when you see it, and I guess I think that the same thing goes true in life. When the thing is happening and things are good, it's easy to keep winning, and when things are difficult and things are hard, it's hard to like pull out of that.
Yeah.
And we went from a place where things were hard and we weren't very much winning to a place where we're winning and doing well. And once you've seen the downtimes,
Yes.
it's like you'll hear about somebody that came from nothing and now they're a Nobel laureate or something. And part of like what made them able to both humbly accept success was that they came from a difficult situation.
Yeah.
And I think when you've seen
The bad side.
when you've seen what it could be, and you dragged yourself up by your own bootstraps, you do better. And I do think that vibe gets into the wine and like makes a difference.
Yeah, I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
You can taste the love.
We use 100% French oak barrels.
Yeah.
We're only about 20% new, so we're very unusual in that. But most people are like, there's wineries, I don't know, that like say they're like 200% new oak, and they take the wine, put it in new oak, and then they take it out of that new oak and put it in more new oak. And like, so when you're tasting a wine, if you're tasting a red wine, everything that sounds like a red or a blue or a purple or a black word, that's the fruit. So you're like cranberries, boysenberries, raspberries, strawberries, red plums, red cherries, red cassis, and you get into like the bluer tones. You're getting like blue, like darker plums, darker cherries, maybe like dried cherries, black cassis, blueberries, huckleberries, figs, and prunes. That's the grapes, right?
Yeah.
And everything that sounds like a tan or a brown word, you get like a sandalwood, creme brulee, mocha frappuccino, toasted cocoa nib, right? All this stuff. Yeah, that's the barrel, right?
Okay.
And most people are like super confused by barrel power, and so like think of the barrel power like I'm not like meaning to be like an old white guy that's sexist or something, but like this is like a push-up bra and a lot of makeup on like somebody that's not real attractive, right? And you're like, and so if you're not a natural beauty, those might be a good idea,
Yeah.
right? But if you're a natural beauty, you don't need that fucking shit. You've put your heart and soul into this wine.
Yes.
You said, Pam, that it had love in it, and love to me is a word that is upright and lifted and fresh and joyous. Love is not a dark, brooding, downward power word, right? That's like Thor's hammer,
Yes.
right? And so I don't know what grape you used. I don't know where it came from. I haven't tasted the wine, but I think if your wine exhibits you, the you-ness of your group, and the combination of you, that doesn't
Let
have
it sing.
it doesn't have anything to do. If it tastes like green beans, then yeah, fucking put that stave in there and like cover over the green beans, right? If it tastes like old, if it tastes like old cheese, yeah, shit, yeah,
Horse manure.
yeah. If it's a crap wine, then I personally think you should probably turn it into vinegar and like walk away. And there's no fixing you can do to turn it into something that you would be proud to take to your mom's birthday. So I think that if your wine has your heart in it, then the best thing you can do, if you're happy with it, and it doesn't need to be Chocker Bock, it can be like the lift, then restrain from as Americans, I think we get sucked into this idea that like more is better.
Yeah. Yep.
And more is not better. The best, like your friend went to the farmer's market and they got a great piece of ahi or something, and they bring it over to your house. Like, your job is to like realize that you've got like this fresh, beautiful thing. It doesn't even fucking matter if your friends hate sashimi. And get the fucking sharp knife out. And you're making sashimi. That's what's for dinner. You don't like it, go to fucking Domino's. Get out of here. And you're eating that. But I can ruin that. I can blacken that. I can deep fry it. I can turn it into tacos.
Overproduced.
Right? I can do a lot of things to that, but I'm not gonna capture the beauty of that freshness, and that's what we want. And if you have, as a winemaker or as a maker, if you have like 10-day-old cod, you better be Magic Chef. You like get the deep fryer out, like put the Cajun sauce on it, and you're hoping nobody goes to the hospital.
Lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, and so the beautiful wines. The reason that enophiles love Burgundy or Great Oregon Pinot Noir is because they have transparency. It's like a sheer curtain, and you can see everything behind that thing, and there's no hiding any of the defects. And the defects are what you fall in love with.
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Yeah.
Right?
Very true.
And so like it's in your relationship or your relationship with your kids.
Dog with a crooked ear.
Right? The things that other people might not see as beauty, you're like, actually, that's the best part. And so anytime you get in the way of, anytime you kind of cloud if your desire is to obscure the imperfections,
Yes.
Yeah.
then you're getting in the way of reality.
So that's why I like your lazy eye, Pam.
Shut up.
You should take a real quick break.
We're going to take a break. Everybody needs to look in my eyes.
Pam does not have a lazy eye. What the hell is that?
I threw it out there. I was going off your vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll be right back after this.
If you want to know more about Inside the Bunghole, join us on all our social media platforms. You can get a revisit and view all the latest posts, giveaways, and information on this podcast. Simply search Inside the Bunghole on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Or you can email us at insidethebunghole@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, and visit our website at insidethebunghole.buzzsprout.com, where you can always find our latest podcast and past episodes. Cheers!
Okay, and we're back. We're back. Everybody looked at my eye. It's not lazy. It's just a little bit.
Is that pink eye? What's going on?
So how do you approach your wine when we're out there before you harvest? You know where it's going to go and what you're going to do different from last year, or is it?
No, we have no idea.
No.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. The magic of it is that there can be no formula, and we have the privilege of that. I've been the winemaker at Turnbull for 18 years. It's all estate grown, so we have our own vineyards. So I mean, I have friends that work for other wineries that like make really good wine, but their owners buying them new fruit every 3 years because they're like changing contracts or like, and then the custom crush place, they make their wine and it changes to a new one because like the contract was lame or the pricing was too bad or like whatever. And, or the winemaker even changes like every couple years.
Yeah.
Right? And so when you're doing all those things, when there's chaos in the machine, then you better have, but you've got a brand and you want it to taste like the same thing, more or less, like a cousin of like last year.
Yeah. You want
And
to.
then you better have like a little like a rubber stamp that you like go ka-chunk, 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 and it like overshadows. So that's where those sticks and chips and liquid oak shit come in.
Right.
Or like maybe more extraction. Let's do something that puts our hands on the wine so that everyone can tell that it's exactly ours. Right. And I work in a totally different world in that we don't have all that chaos, that change chaos. And our customers know, our fans know that the wine is going to be, I would never, ever bottle a wine that I wouldn't have on my own holiday table. Right. And on top of that, in my head, and this sounds like a faked up bullshit story, but it's true. Every time we're blending a wine, I think, would I buy this for full price? And would I sell it to my best friend, right? And feel good about that, would I? And if and then would they sell it 5, 10 years, bring it back to my birthday? And do I want to open it? Am I going to be embarrassed by this?
Yeah.
Right. Or are they going to be embarrassed that they bought it and cellared it and then were kind enough to bring it back to my birthday? And if I can't say absolutely that we're good on both those things and they're like slightly different, then we don't bottle that wine. And I have the generous, the family that owns Turnbull, awesome people, not my family, but they're good. We have 6 guys that have been with the team for more than 25 years. That says something. I've stuck around for a long time. The longevity of people does mean that the people you work for see you as a person.
Yeah.
Respect you as an organism. And when we do that, when we run our winery with that ethos, we do better.
So they actually give you the permission. If this tastes like shit, don't bother bottling.
Oh my God. I've never tasted the wines without ownership. Ever. Right? Total from day one. And we've had vintages where I called up the owner and said, Mr. Odell, I think the 2011 vintage was very difficult. We spend more money than God trying to like turn something out. We're farmers, so we grow grapes. It rained 13 inches before we picked most of them. They were rotten. We're still going to pick them. It would be like if you had a little backyard tomato garden and like you didn't get out there before the fall frost or something, but the next day you go out there and your little babies are like a little injured, but you're like, well, maybe I'll put them on the counter and like there'll be something in a few days and we'll like kind of see. And then you end up throwing them in the trash or like composting them, right?
Yeah.
And so we did that. We picked the grapes and we made wine out of them. And the wines right away were like insufficient as to like what I thought I would have. I can't sit down across from you, Pam, and even at $45 be like, I think that this is a wonderful wine for your life. You should totally buy this. I'd be lying to you. And so I refused to do that work. And so I called up the owner and said, look, Mr. Odell, I think instead of like 20,000 cases, I think I've got about 4,000 cases. Everything we picked before the rain was fine. Everything after that's shit. And, I think we should cut it. And he did. And I did the math later, and I think it was like a $19 million like hit. Not costs, not profit potential, just straight up cost. And it took us probably 10 years to recover from one year.
One rain,
Right?
one
Yeah.
massive
Right?
rainfall.
And that is farming.
That is farming.
Yeah, and it's not a cheap game, but it does require. So like I buy gin and tequila and whiskey and all the things, and I've never thrown any out. I can't remember the time I like poured a bottle of bourbon down the drain because it was horrible. You always use it for something. You make some shit cocktail or something. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Right? But like I have thrown tens of thousands of dollars worth of wine down the drain. I have, right? That was like high regarded, well scoring. My friends, like things that I thought were going to be good, and I was like, I can't drink this. It's horrible. And winemakers, of course, will say, well, that's Mother Nature. We work with the harvest of Mother Nature. She's very difficult sometimes.
Yes.
And we can't control that, and so we're left to the whims of the Greek gods. This is like
And that your philosophy is, well, no, I'm not. I have the ability to throw it down the.
Yeah, I'm the keeper of quality. My job is to make sure that we never put a wine out that wouldn't more than win.
Yes.
Right. And but that can be financially ruinous. So like the three legs of the winemaking stool are soils, climate, and money. Right. And the money isn't like attacking money. It's like I have a forklift that works, and I have a barn that's big enough, and I have a team that's well paid and loves working for Turnbull. And when the storm's coming, we can get the cows in the barn safe before that thing comes through because we have the equipment. And then should we fail in that mission, then we have an ownership that has enough gravitas and wisdom to be like, you know what? Like that's not what we're in it for.
Yeah.
So we can cut the vintage. We bottled the wine that I wouldn't bottle for $45 a bottle, and we bottled it for another winery that sells it for $150 a bottle.
Your grapes.
Yeah, like the same wine. The same wine. The same wine that I was unwilling to like put our name on. Somebody else put their name on.
What's their name?
I'm not allowed to answer. Well, sticks and chips.
Sticks and chips.
Sticks and chips.
When you taste the sticks and chips,
Yeah, and
maybe there's somebody farted in the elevator.
And more. You don't read the back of the Dorito bag and like wine. There will be a beautiful day someday when wine labeling has ingredients on it. But there's technical wine that has all kinds of.
Are there a lot of wines out there that are overproduced?
Are there wines out there that are properly produced? Yes.
Properly produced.
Properly, but overly. Are there a shit ton that are just like? It's like, why are they? With that, what's that purple juice or whatever they put in wine and
Mega purple.
And do you see more or less of that happening?
I'm hopeful that the industry is moving in a good direction, that we've educated. I would hope, obviously this country has a lack of education and critical thinking skills. We've got people that are making bad choices for their own well-being in these times. But I guess I hope that people are think more thoughtful about the things that they support and more thoughtful about what they bring into their own bodies and their ethos, and that those things are supported. So I would hope that vintners are amongst those people and do the good work of doing less.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
Tell me about this varietal on your estate called, I'm going to pronounce it wrong, but I'll do it and then correct me. Lagrange?
Lagrange. Yeah, Lagrange.
Is there heard of that?
Yeah, it's a grape variety from the Alta Adige. So if you're in Venice, Italy, and you drove into Austria through the Alps there, you'd run through a grape growing area, the Alta Adige, and there they grow a grape variety called Lagrange. And when I came to Turnbull in 2007, I was presented with a singular 8x11 piece of paper that had 4 vineyard maps, mimeographed. It was smudged and you could barely read it, and the maps were very small. My eyesight was better then. But and one of the little blocks was labeled as Malbec, and another little block was labeled as Petit Verdot. And I dutifully went out into the world and made a couple barrels of Petit Verdot and a couple barrels of Malbec, and we blended those into our 2007 Black Label, is our kind of flagship wine. And the back label of Black Label did say at the back in the day, used to have the vineyard, the blend percentages on it. Now we print the labels in the spring when I'm bottling Sauvignon Blanc, and at that time I don't know what I'm gonna finally make the blend of, so we don't put the blends on the labels anymore. But not in a way to obscure anything, but just like for efficiency, we're putting what we love in the bottle, and we're not wasting money on like printing labels at the last second. I don't come up with the final blend until weeks before bottling, so the rush fee on that would just be stupid.
Right.
So,
20%,
yeah.
40%, 10%.
Yeah, so we have fact sheets for that later, but it's not a label. But back in 2007, it was still that I inherited that, and the back label of the Black Label in 2007 listened a certain amount of Malbec and Petit Verdot, and because that's what I made. I never knew that I liked Malbec and Petit Verdot so much, and I was so enthralled with it. I was like, that's magic. And then the next year, again, just so good. And I think it was in 2009. I was in the vineyard, and when the vines are dormant and the buds just pop open, right? Maybe in a couple weeks they'll be popping open. Shoots unfurl pretty quickly, and you get like maybe an inch of growth in the first week, and it was purple. And I'm a 14th generation grape grower guy, and like I grew up in the vineyard. I had never seen like purple growth coming out of a bud.
Right.
And I thought that Joseph Phelps next door had maybe shot some herbicide over the fence or something. Turnbull didn't employ a viticulturalist. I guess that was my job, but I'm not trained in this. I'm just like a shade tree mechanic kind of viticulturalist.
Right.
And before I called up Ashley over at Ashley Hepworth, great winemaker. She's not at Phelps anymore, but wonderful person. But I'm friends with her. And before I called her up and like gave her a ration, I called up Chris Lowe, wonderful young viticulturalist, and I said, Chris, I don't have any money for you, but can you just come look at this and make sure I don't make an ass of myself before I make this horrible phone call? And Chris came out and looked at it, and she's like, well, there's good news. You're not damaged, right? Your neighbors. You're fine, but that's not Malbec and that's not Petit Verdot.
Oh, my.
I don't know what it is, but those are not those varietals. But there's genetic testing. I had no money in the budget for genetic testing. That wasn't like in my line items. Yeah, I did have some money for beer, and so I used like $500 out of the beer fund. The guys never knew. Don't tell them. They're probably not listening.
We'll keep it a secret.
We did the genetic testing. It took 3 years until the genetic testing came up as a grind, because it was a UC Davis database, and it hadn't included grape varieties from the Alta Adige in northern Italy, southern Austria, reasonably so. But eventually, like in 2010, it became known that what we actually had was this grape variety, Lagrein, which is a fantastic grape variety. And the Lagrines from Alta Adige are, we're talking, this is 2,000 meters in elevation, granite soils, very cool. And you have wines that are like 12 to 13% alcohol, like very fresh and lively, but great fruit density. That it would be kind of like a not, I don't mean this in a bad way, but like a bad rosé from California, like a little bit over dark. I mean, it would like, the wines are like, for a red wine, like,
Is it a fragile grape, or it's pretty resilient?
For us, in Oakville has the latitude of like the Rock of Gibraltar, so we're like a more southern and hot, and so it's not a grape that we like struggle to get right before. So fragility in grapes, in the grape growing season, like right now, we've just wrapped up pruning. And when we're pruning, we're already planning how much fruit we're going to grow, what the quality and quantity of the wines that we're going to make this year is based on pruning. So we're building the grapes. We don't do any sort of blending or like some sort of fancy, gymnastics in the cellar to like make the wines. The wines come from the fruit that we grow, and we're already conceiving of that growing season in our work in January, right? And so, but the goal is always to ripen the fruit before the game-ending rain, persistent morning dew. There's going to be something that happens in the fall that turns ripening fruit into rotting fruit.
Right.
Yeah, and we want to take the fruit before that. But ideally, if you had logistics enough, you would harvest all the fruit the microsecond right before the game-ending moment. right? And you'd have, as you can imagine, if you could ripen your grapes in like 10 minutes, it wouldn't matter if you did it in Temecula or on the Moon or Cheval Blanc.
Right.
It would be exactly the same because it wouldn't have enough time to absorb the place. But if you have a great place, and not every place is great, but if you have a great place, then you want to maximize the time. Not over-ripen, though. You don't want to, like, make prunes.
Right.
You want to, like, have the most gentle ride-up to, like, full ripeness. But it's like you go to the store, you know it when you see it. There's an avocado. You're hunting through, like, 50 avocados, and you got to pick out 5.
Yeah.
And you're, like, squeezing them, and you're watching the lady, and she's, like, wiggling the stems, and, like, you're like, oh, that's probably how you do it. And you when you find the avocado that has just enough give to your fingertips, but you can feel that if you like press a little bit harder, you might damage the fruit that you're about to buy. It's that one, right? And so like we want to get that great. I don't have some technological. I don't have a team of scientists who are out like testing the grapes to see if they're ripe. That's me putting 40 pounds of grapes in my mouth every morning.
Oh my.
Right? You spit them out or you'd have a tummy ache. I mean, I have been down on all 4. Grape growing sounds like a sexy thing. But I have like been bent over in a vineyard on the top of Oakville, like overlooking the whole Napa Valley with the fog ripping back. It's so beautiful. And I'm like dry heaving grapes out of my nose, right? But I'm suffering for the people.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Right?
Just to make sure you enjoy your turn.
But then I was going to say, and then harvesting too late could be a big disaster, like said earlier. It could be, oops.
You don't want those fuzzy, moldy avocados. Oh, and then like good guacamole.
Right.
Underripe.
Rock bar guy will buy. Some other guy will buy.
Yeah, no, but that's not us. So that is the paramount moment. Our whole farming season leads up to that. We're trying to like time that like right before that, the game ending moment. Now, of course, we can, with our pragmatic cellar and our pragmatic team, we're about 20 tons of picking and processing a day, but we farm 150 acres, which yield about 420 tons, a little bit less than 3 tons an acre.
Incredible.
Right? So I need to pick for 21 days in a row. But of course, we don't, when we start the season, it would be like a restaurant. It's just opened. It's 5 o'clock. It is not full. You have a few tables drip in.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And you're like 5% full. So the first week, we might pick 5 tons a day. And then the next day, maybe the Merlot is starting to come online. And I've got a little Cab Franc that's starting to be in the zone. And we might do 7 tons. So the first like 3 or 4 days of the vintage, those days might add up into 1 day. Right. And then like there might be a day that's like too cool or a little misty or it rained and then we take a day or 2 off. Or it's Sunday and we're like pressing something, so we're not picking. And so we're in total, those 21 days turn into about 40 days, right? Of like picking.
Yeah.
Right. So we need to we purposely plant rootstocks and grape varietals, row orientation, pruning techniques, trellising, watering styles, all that stuff to try to spread the field. You're like a horse race, but you don't want a photo finish.
No.
I want my 40 horses to show up on 40 different minutes.
Yeah. Starting across beautifully.
All right. So we do a lot of work as a farming company to try to spread that. So when the thing is ready, we are ready.
Yeah.
So that we can highlight that attribute the best.
Beautiful.
So,
well, we're going to take another quick break.
We're going to come back and talk about his
I was just,
tasting.
you know what?
And all of his pairing.
Yes, we could do that. I want to ask him real quick though.
Sure.
A little bit about 14 generations.
Oh.
So we'll come right back after this.
If you want to know more about Inside the Bunghole, join us on all our social media platforms. You can get a revisit and view all the latest posts, giveaways, and information on this podcast. Simply search Inside the Bunghole on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Or you can email us at insidethebunghole@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in and visit our website at insidethebunghole.buzzsprout.com, where you can always find our latest podcast and past episodes. Cheers!
Alrighty, I'm back. Okay, you said you are 14th generation.
Indeed.
How in the hell does that happen? You were throwing some smack to our one of our recent interviewees, Angela Mondavi.
Yeah, 5 generations. I mean, Angela, let's throw it down. So,
Mike, and you're at 7.
Well, my kids would be 5 generations. My kids who are now 23, hers are only like 3 months,
Yes.
3 years or something like that. My kids are 5th generation in Napa Valley. So, but they have a more impressive winery that people have heard of before, which is cool. Yeah. But no, 10 generations in Alsace. So my great grandparents, Michael and Louise Heitz, were escaping northern France before World War I kicked off. And Michael grabbed his underage girlfriend and like escaped around the tip of South America on a steamer ship, and ended up in San Francisco. Yeah, and Michael was a young viticulturalist from Alsace, but they got married on the boat somewhere, which is cool. It's so spicy. I've never gone anywhere, so I love that someone in my past was adventurous.
Yes, jumping on a steamship.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. But and then so back in the day, there was actually an electric trolley that went all the way from San Francisco all the way to the little town of Calistoga in northern Napa Valley. Mike and Luis, they were living in San Francisco trying to figure out what they were doing, and they had a young son who died of pneumonia. And San Francisco is very foggy, and the doctors were like, "Well, it's pneumonia gulch. You're gonna get pneumonia here. Obviously, it's susceptible to that. If you want to have kids, you better like go to the healing hot waters of the Napa Valley."
Yeah.
Those volcanic rocks and all that hot stuff. And there was already, get this, there was already Charles Krug
Yes.
before the Mondavies had the place. But Charles Krug was there, Christian Brothers, Framsburg, Behringer Brothers. So the Napa Valley was inhabited, Inglenook, BV, those guys were all there. And it was all French and German and Italian immigrants had come to the valley. The Italians were really like the field labor component. What we need Mexico for today.
Yeah.
Italian, huh?
Yeah, and so but the Germans and the French were the brains of the operation, like building wineries and this sort of stuff. Anyways, they took the electric trolley. There was no Bay Bridge or Golden Gate Bridge. The trolley went on a barge and like across the bay and up the valley, and so they had saved up a couple coins, and they bought 50 acres of land up in Calistoga at the base of Diamond Mountain. And 8 years later, they'd founded Heitz Cellars. Not the modern day Heitz Cellars that just got sold to the billionaire banking guy from different Heitz Cellars. Yeah, so my family came there and started growing grapes and making wine. The Prohibition came along. You could only make so much wine that you could blue leg. So that a lot of the vineyard got replanted to like walnuts and prunes and pears.
This was your original family's
Yeah,
wine.
my family. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and eventually, like in the 50s, like replanted to grapes and selling grapes to the big five that had the Sacramento permits from Prohibition, the same wineries we just talked about. And my grandparents, named Heitz, of course, Joe and Alice Heitz came to the valley from Indiana or something via Munich to Indiana to Napa Valley. Joe Heitz was a protege of Andrei Chelichev, famous Napa Valley winemaker, global winemaker. And Joe needed grapes for his new thing called Heitz Cellars and bought grapes from my grandparents. And they became fast friends, and my grandparents became godparents to David and Kathleen Heitz, who recently sold the place. So long intertwined history in the Napa Valley.
Turnbull's pretty much got great distribution.
I mean, it's a smaller family-owned winery. The wineries around us, Opus and Nickel and Cape Bread and Mondavi, are like way bigger than us. I just grow grapes and make wine. I didn't come prepped to have any information about like.
So
But you can come to there's a website, I'm sure, turnbullwines.com.
bless him, he is a true
Yeah.
winemaker. He doesn't even
Yeah.
know if he has a
Yeah,
website.
but it's
We do have a website.
yeah. There are wine that we
You
make.
have one.
We do make wines. We make wines that we respect our customers to if they should have them on a Tuesday or their special day, that they should over deliver. And we never deviate from that. And we have over the years since we've done that consistently, we have legions of people that have awoken to this. And so we're not the cool kids who you gotta get on a list to get on the list,
Yeah.
because we're not those people. But the earth goes around the sun every year, We're farmers. We make wine. There will be wine next year. There's no, you don't need to like get out of bed tonight and like get on the website and get your allocation or something like that. There will be the wine. Every vintage is different. We don't make every wine every year. We do have customers that are mostly upset with us because we didn't let them know. We failed to reach out and send them. We're not Crate and Barrel or something, not to disparage those guys, but we don't. We're not marketeers.
Yeah.
So if we're there. We await your visit, your phone call, but we're not out there like trying to like beat your door down to like tell you that you have to buy it.
Yeah.
And in this world of things that are like telling you what to do, we are not that. And so I guess I honestly like find that to be a refreshing thing. And I hope that other people, like-minded people, appreciate that ethos of like, we're here for you when you need it, and we're not in your way when you don't. We do make alcoholic beverages that are really, really good and exist from place and time, and they have very natural ingredients, and we care a lot about them, but we're not...
We're not going to force it down.
Yeah, there's a world of great wine out there, and you should go experience all of it. And if Turnbull can be a small section of like what you love in life, that is wonderful.
Well, it's Herman's favorite right now.
No,
Yes.
I do.
Doing something right because he's pretty.
Yeah, I do think that in these times, it's most important. The most important thing that we can do. Wine brings people together over the table. It's brought us together today.
Yes, this is it.
And I think that when we have discourse about all the things over food and wine with friends and enemies, we do better as people. The original people, the philosophers of time, the scientists of all time, they did that over wine. They did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it lubricates the mind. It gives us a sensibility to like understand other people. It gives us
Or at least put up with that.
the patience to understand a different point of view. I have had conversations with people that I like super can't agree with, but over a glass of wine, you can find some common ground.
Yeah.
And I do think that in these times and in all times, we should continue to like have wine as part of life. Yeah. And it can be any wine. It can be a $2 $2 truck, or it can be a $20,000 whatever. I do think that there's a place for wine on everybody's table.
I agree.
That being said, people, I think we're wrapping up this edition. That was perfect. Did you have anything else you wanted to?
I can go on about pairing and things and that because he's the winemaker. There's nothing like having something kind of fatty on your palate and then taking something that has a little more acidity in it and stuff. And
Indeed.
it's fun. Is it wine?
Wait, fun.
All right, we're out of here. But
Thank you for joining us, and we look forward to coming and visiting you up in Napa.
I love that.
that website right there, my hat is flag.
It is
Turnbull.com or TurnbullWines.com.
Let me see. I'll tell
Maybe
you.
with an S.
She's right here. We're gonna.
It is TurnbullWines.com.
Yep.
Yeah. There's
Very good.
Yeah, you can come taste, you can come visit. The wines are out in the world to some degree, and we'd love it if you'd try it. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you for coming on Inside the Bunghole.
I love that. Thanks for having me inside the bunghole.
That's it.
If you want to know more about Inside the Bunghole, join us on all our social media platforms. You can get a revisit and view all the latest posts, giveaways, and information on this podcast. Simply search Inside the Bunghole on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment. We would love to hear from you. Or you can email us at insidethebunghole@gmail.com. Thanks for tuning in, and visit our website at insidethebunghole.buzzsprout.com, where you can always find our latest podcast and past episodes. Cheers!